Here's another piece of e-waste I'm trying to do something fun with. This is a Dell OptiPlex 170L, a computer from around 2004 or 2005. On the front it has a DVD reader. It originally had a CD reader only. Floppy drive, power button with power and hard drive indicators, 2 USB ports and line out, sticker for Windows XP, and Intel Celeron. On the back we've got the power supply, of course, with a voltage switch, but there's a piece of plastic taped to it, so you can't change it easily, which is good. Serial port, parallel port, built-in VGA video, 4 status lights, PS2 keyboard and mouse ports, microphone, line out and line in jacks, 4 USB ports, all 2.0, and 10100 Ethernet. 4 expansion slots, but there's nothing installed. It comes with a license for Windows XP Professional. You slide this switch down while pulling the cover towards the back. And after doing that with 2 hands, we can get a look inside. Processor cooler, IDE optical drive, IDE hard drive with space for another one. Even though it has 4 expansion slots, you can't put anything on the top one. There are just 3 PCI slots. No AGP, no PCI Express, and so on. This cable is for the CD audio. It goes from a special connector on the IDE optical drive to the motherboard, since this has built-in sound. But this cable wasn't originally included with it. I took it from my IBM IntelliStation. It's a bit difficult to see because I don't want to take out every cable. But there are only 2 RAM slots, both of which are occupied. And that's about it for the insides. So I've plugged everything in. Let's turn it on and see what happens. I pressed F2 to enter the BIOS setup. And if you forgive me holding the camera in my hand because the tripod cannot fit here, I can show you this. It's basically the same as my PowerEdge 840, with some different settings, of course. This computer has 512 megabytes of memory, and the CPU is a 2.66 GHz Intel Celeron. Its full model number is actually Intel Celeron D330. Despite the name, it's actually just 1 core and 1 thread. It's not like the Pentium D. It also has this OS install mode to limit the RAM, but even the OS I currently have installed on it works fine with half a gig. The hard drive is set to performance. You can change the setting to make it quieter, despite the grammar mistake in the help guide here. Anyway, let's boot to the OS I have installed now. Windows Millennium Edition. Why did I decide to install such a controversial version of Windows? I don't know. I never hated Windows ME. I always thought it had some charm, and I know the screen is horribly stretched now. This TV screen resolution is 1366 by 768, but I can't set that resolution with this graphics driver, Intel 82865G, or in layman's terms, Intel Extreme Graphics 2. Sounds fancy, doesn't it? I guess it was okay at the time, but I'm pretty sure a dedicated GPU would have been better. Anyway, I can set 1280 by 720, which looks a lot better than Stretch-O-Vision, after all adjusting the picture, of course. But it is a little blurry, so what I decided to do was set 1024 by 768, and set the monitor, TV in this case, to not stretch the picture. And now it looks perfect, even though it has the black bars. Besides, for a computer of this era, a 4:3 aspect ratio is more appropriate. So there it is, Windows Millennium on this computer designed for Windows XP. It has drivers for pretty much everything. Here's the system info. Here I'll get a warning about a device that's disabled. As far as I know, there's no setting to enable this. Display adapter, DVD drive, even the network. Here PCI USB is set as an other device, but I can plug in a flash drive and it works, because Windows ME added USB mass storage support. This is my parallel port CD drive, but now it's disconnected. And also sound and chipset. I'm not much of a gamer, so I haven't installed any games here, but it should have the included Windows games, including a pinball. Now you want to see Windows Millennium on the internet, don't you? Let's go. Internet Explorer. I didn't install this Yahoo toolbar on purpose. It came with some program I installed from the Windows 98 10th anniversary disk. Anyway, this page doesn't load at all. But what I was able to get working was Windows Update restored. And uh-oh, we absolutely need your help. Didn't see this before. But can we continue anyway? Okay, with this website you can still update older versions of Windows. For 2000 XP and newer you can use Legacy Update, but for 98 and ME you can use this. And I don't remember which one I used. Probably 4. You have to click yes a bunch of times, but after that it does work. This security update, I did install it, but it keeps coming back, so I guess I have to ignore that. And here are the updates that I installed. So not bad. But I kept Windows Media Player 7 instead of upgrading to version 9. The skins are basically the same as on XP, except for this one. There's also RetroZilla, which is a slightly more updated browser. However, it's based on Firefox 2, which is still pretty old. So obviously you can't use an older OS like this for modern web browsing. On second thought, there is a more modern web browser you can use than Windows ME. This modified version of Firefox called MyPal. It is based on Firefox 68 and it runs pretty well. Some websites like YouTube are a bit slow, but that's because of the hardware, not the software. While waiting for that to load, I can show you that this is still Windows ME. Or is it? No, that's too good to be true, obviously. This is a trick. This is actually a modified version of Windows XP called Windows ME 2nd Edition. It's not official, of course. You can find it on archive.org. But it looks nearly identical to Windows Millennium, so I dual booted it with the real thing on this OptiPlex. See version 5.01, that would be version 5.1, which is Windows XP. Even the DirectX diagnostics say Windows Millennium Edition, but it also says Professional 5.1 Build 2600, which is XP. It comes with its apps like Media Player 7, its limited version of Windows Movie Maker, and the welcome video. So that's a look at Windows ME, or Me, or Millennium Edition, or Mistake Edition, or Many Errors, or Motherfucking Embarrassment, whatever you want to call it. And also a glimpse of Windows XP on this Dell from the mid-2000s. Quite fun to mess around in. A bit of a stupid experiment, but that's what I currently have on this computer. If you have a suggestion on what I should try on this computer, of course you can let me know. Thank you for watching.